Thanks for joining us for Discover Ohio. I'm Makia Cameron. Today, we'll show you some great spots for the entire family. You know, in today's hustle and bustle, we sometimes forget how nice it is just to relax and take note of easier times. Well, our first stop takes us to a decades-old candy shop and soda fountain that still does things the old-fashioned way. In 1840, William Henry Harrison was elected President of the United States. The Civil War was still 2 decades away. Stovepipe hats were about to become the latest fashion trend. And Wittich's candy shop was open for business in Circleville, Ohio.
1840 it started by great-grandfather Wittich, Gottlieb Frederick, GF they called him. They came from Germany in 1836, moved to Circleville. And he went to the Over-the-Rhine district in Cincinnati to learn how to make candy because the family by trade were bookbinders. And they didn't need that many bookbinders in Circleville.
The Wittich family first learned how to make candy, and a tradition was born that's lasted 17 decades and is still going strong. This is the longest-running, oldest confectionery in America. Times have changed, and so has candy. Before air conditioning, stick candy was Wittich's main seller. But these days, the customers are more interested in treats that melt in your mouth.
If it's not chocolate, they're not interested in buying it too much. I have a stick candy display back there. We sell maybe 25 sticks a week. But that's the changing of the candy business. They went from hard candies, mostly because chocolate melted all summer long, so everybody always had hard candies. It progressed in, everybody wanted chocolate, so you ended up having to make what the people want. So part of the success, if you'd call it that, would be you make what your customers want.
Staying true to family tradition, Wittich's still makes all their treats using time-tested family recipes.
When you have a good product, you don't try and change it. And most of our recipes have been made by us for at least 65, 70 years.
Fans of Wittich's compare these homemade delights to famous European candies, and for good reason.
The lady that taught my mother how to dip chocolate in 1935, 36, something like that, came from a German village in Columbus. She would take her left hand and pinch off a piece and roll that in her left hand, throw it in the chocolate, and pick it up with her right and dip it and put it on a tray. She would do her own forming. Now that's how my mother learned it.
Wittich's has made one change to the rolling process that makes things go much quicker.
My father bought a hand roll machine, which you make the little hot dogs, long foot-long hot dogs we call them, and put them on there and then roll a bunch of creams at one time. He bought that as a used piece of equipment from a traveling salesman that had candy equipment in his car that he sold.
The candies here are still made with that same roller decades later. Making them in small batches like this has advantages that larger candy makers just can't match.
We do make small batches. You know, most people, large size, are going to make 100 to 150 pounds of one kind of center. Both them batches were 12-pound batches. So you make small batches every day and sell them that way so they maintain a better quality.
Customers say they come to Wittich's for an experience that they can only find right here.
Well, it's welcoming and it's not like everything else.
It brings you back to what used to be in the olden days.
They put a little bit more TLC into their product, I believe. You know, they really care about the people that walk in the door. Tell them to stop and try the floats. I've never seen all these different types of floats before.
If you have time for the full Wittich's experience, grab a stool at the 1930s soda fountain and get ready for some more delicious treats.
Most kids have never seen a soda fountain, so it's a novelty to them to come into a store that has a soda fountain. All the kids are allowed 2 spins on the stool. because you get just like I was a kid, done the same thing. You spend all you want on that stool if you can, and you get grandma standing there, grandpa, just stop it, and so we sort of help them out by putting a little sign up there that says kids are allowed 2 spins on a stool. The reason the soda fountain is here is people would come into the store and say that was the highlight of their whole week, was coming in and getting a hot fudge sundae. So I tell people now, you can still get the same hot fudge that was on that sundae in 1920 if you were here then, but that's the same exact recipe that grandfather and I guess my great-grandfather formulated years ago.
It's hard to know exactly why Wittich has survived so long while so many other candy makers have come and gone. But one reason might just be the family's dedication to making and selling just what their customers ask for.
Hard to get away from the basic flavors that we make. Some of them we don't sell as many of as we used to, but about the time you think, boy, maybe I won't make this anymore, and somebody comes in and wants 3 1-pound boxes of the flavor that you're thinking about maybe doing something with. Chocolate chip cookie dough. Okay, well, see, 2 out of 3 is not bad. And what's your favorite? Chocolate. The people is what makes this shop continue to be what it is, for us making what they want.
Looking at Wittich's from the street, the store might look new, but at heart, it has the same values that have always kept it going strong.
It's a family atmosphere. You come in here, you can sit down at the soda fountain and have a soda. The shop looks modern, but everything inside, just like the candies that we make, most of them are old types of candy. They're not changed. There's none of the kid candy they have today, It's all old standard candies that you've been buying for 25, 35 years.
But the main reason for their success might just be that they love what they do here, and they're dedicated to carrying on a delicious Ohio tradition.
You gotta like what you're doing. And I guess my job anymore, as I look at it, is that I'm preserving a part of Circleville's history that my great-grandfather started years ago. And anymore, that's more of an important thing to me than whether this candy shop makes oodles of money and somebody gets rich or whatever.
For more information on Wittich's and all there is to do while visiting in Circleville, just go to thepicofohio.com.